Good morning all. Hope you all are safe and healthy at your places. Myself Dr. Manjusha Goyal, associated with Department of Management Studies at Rajkumar Goyal Institute of Technology, Ghaziabad. Today I am going to discuss the topic related to law of demand, exceptions to law of demand, demand curve, movement and shift in demand curve. That is from Unit 2 of Managerial Economics. So, let us start with today's lecture. Law of demand. Before starting the concept of law of demand, it is necessary to understand the demand. What demand is? Demand is that want, desire or need which is backed or supported by willingness and ability to pay. Means when a person will have the purchasing power or money with them to convert their demand into desire, desire into demand, then it will become a demand. So, in short, we can say that demand is effective desire. So, now come to the law of demand. Law of demand states that other things being equal, at a higher price consumer will purchase less of commodity and at a lower price consumer will purchase more of it. We can say that law of demand says that ceteris paribus, demand for a product is inversely proportional to its price. So, here the question arises, what is ceteris paribus? Ceteris paribus is basically a Latin phrase which means other things remain constant. Here other things means the other determinant of demand. As we know, there are many determinants of demand like your income of consumer, price of related commodities, taste and preferences, advertisement, future expectations, populations, growth and so on. But here when we are studying law of demand, we are studying only the relationship between demand and price of commodity. So, we take it as ceteris paribus means other things remain constant, demand for a product is inversely proportional to its price, means when price increases demand decreases and when price decreases demand increases. That is what law of demand is. So, here in law of demand we study only the relationship between demand and price. Dx here stand for demand for x commodity and Px is the price of that particular commodity. So, that is law of demand. So, we conclude that law of demand is when the price increases demand decreases, when price decreases demand increases, but it is not true in all the cases. So, there are few exceptions to law of demand like your Giffen goods, snowmobile, demonstration effect, future expectation of price, insignificant proportion of income span and goods with no substitute. We will discuss these one by one. The first concept or the exception is Giffen goods. Giffen good is a concept which is given by Sir Robert Giffen. Giffen good is a inferior quality product, means the product for which better alternatives are available in the market. Basically, this concept is focused towards the low category of people, means the persons who are having are in the means below poverty line. So, what happened in this concept, that to meet out their basic need of daily life, these kind of people, they have to decrease their demand for the luxury commodities and increase the demand for inferior goods. So, when the price increases for these goods, demand increases, and the best example of this commodity, the given good, is Irish potato famine. In Irish potato famine, what will happen, that the prices of potato will increase, and Irish have a regular intake of potatoes in their food diet, but as the prices are increasing, they are not able to meet out their demand. So, what will they do? They have to cut out their spending on their luxuries item like your meat and fish, and they increase their intake of potato. So, with this, what happened, that even though the prices of potatoes are increasing in the famine, but the demand of Irish people will increase. So, this is the example of given good. So, that even prices are increasing, but demand for that particular product is also increasing. The second exceptions to demand is snob appeal. Snob appeal is related to prestige necessities, means in this category the goods are bought not for the utility, but for the social status, means they are bought to maintain their social status, like the demand for diamonds, demand for antiques, demand for sports car. All these are have a snob appeal, and these kind of commodities are known as Veblen goods. The goods which are having the snob appeal are known as Veblen goods, like the commodities purchased by Tatas, Birlas, Ambanis, all they are bought just to have their social status. If the prices of these goods will decrease, they are not interested to buy these kind of commodities. So, Veblen goods are bought when they have a social impact. So, Veblen goods are exceptions to law of demand. So, higher the price, more will be demand, and less the price, decrease in the demand. So, that is a second exceptions to law of demand. The third exception is demonstration effect. Demonstration effect is basically related to your fashion, means when someone is highly influenced by the behavior of other, means if you are a follower of a cricketer, if you are a follower of a sports person or a actor or actress, so in that case whatever they are doing, whatever they are consuming, you will prefer to go with that product, whatever be the price, because you want to be in trend. And we also know that whatever is in trend, it is comparatively costly as compared to normal product, but as you want to be in fashion, so you ignore the impact of price on that. So, you consider that product even if the prices are higher. So, again that comes in an exceptions to law of demand, because in these cases the prices are high, but still the demand is more because you have to follow the fashion. Then comes your future expectation of price. Future expectation of price means when you are expecting that in the near future the prices are going to increase. If I'll just take a very common example of onion. As we know, suppose the price of onion in current is rupees 50 per kg, okay, and it is going to increase further to 60, but your demand will increase because you are expecting that in near future it is going to be 100. So, this will happen when the customer is buying that particular product to make a stock of that product. They are not buying for a present consumption, but for future consumption, because they are expecting that in near future the price will go further, and that will show the panic buying behavior of the consumer, and again it will become an exceptions to law of demand, because prices are increasing, but demand is still increasing. Price increases from 50 to 60, but your demand is still increasing because you are expecting to further increase in the price. Then comes insignificant proportion of income spent. Here it means that there are some commodities on which we are spending a very less amount of our total income. So, even if there is a significant increase in price of those commodities, our demand does not change. Like suppose our total income will be of 50,000 per month. From that income, if we will spend rupees 10 or 15 on a particular product like suppose matchbox or salt. So, even if the prices are increased for those products, we won't reduce our demand. Although the law of demand says that if the price increase, demand will decrease, but because we are spending very less amount on these commodities, so we won't it does not affect our spending very much. So, we won't change our spending or we won't change our demand. Even if these commodities are sold at free, the customer are not interested to increase their demand. So, that is a exceptions to law of demand when we are spending a very less amount on any commodity from our total income. Now, the last exception is goods with no substitute. It means the commodities for which we have no substitute, like your medicines, life saving medicines, petrol, diesel, CNG, which do not have any substitute. Even if the price will increase, we have to buy these commodities. We do not have any other choice. Whatever medicine we need, however costly it will be, we have to buy. So, again that is an exceptions to law of demand, that even though prices of these goods are increasing, but our demand does not change. So, that is an exceptions to law of demand. So, on all these points, law of demand is not applicable. Now, next comes the demand curve. A demand curve shows the relationship between price of a commodity and the quantity demanded by the consumer, ceteris paribus graphically. It means that demand curve is showing the relationship only between the price and the quantity demand. Ceteris paribus means other things remain constant. So, when we plot the data of a quantity and the price on a graph, then it will comes as a demand curve. As we can see that in this graph we have x axis and y axis. On x axis we have the price, on y axis we have the quantity demanded for a commodity. As the price increases from 8 to 10, quantity demanded decreases from 7 to 5 and so on. So, we can see that demand curve slopes downwards, means as the price increases, demand decreases. So, demand curve slopes downward. But student, there are many other reasons also which leads to downward sloping demand curve, and these reasons are law of diminishing marginal utility, price effect, income effect and substitution effect. What is law of diminishing marginal utility? Diminishing means decreasing, marginal means additional and utility means satisfaction. So, this law of diminishing marginal utility says that with the successive increase in use of a commodity, the satisfaction derived from that commodity keeps on decreasing. For example, when you are very thirsty, the first sip of water you are having will give you more satisfaction as compared to the next one. When you are very hungry, then the satisfaction given by the first chapati will be more as compared to the other one. We can take the today's example also, like if you bought a new mobile phone, so you are very indulged in first 2-3 days in that mobile phone. You serve all the features and you find out everything related to that particular mobile phone. But slowly your interest in that particular mobile phone will keep on decreasing. So, that result on decrease in demand. So, it means law of diminishing marginal utility says that as long as we keep on using a product, the satisfaction we are going to get by the uses of that particular product keep on decreasing, and that result to decrease in demand, and which will result downward sloping demand curve. Then comes the second, that is price effect. Price effect is when A commodity is used in a multiple of ways, like your electricity. We have the uses of electricity in a number of ways. We can use electricity for lighting, we can use electricity for cooking, we can use electricity with electronic appliances and so on. So, when the prices of electricity will increase, what will happen? We will decrease its consumption. The total or the aggregate demand of electricity will decrease as a result. So, with the increase in the price, aggregate demand of electricity will decrease. So, that will again result to downward sloping demand curve. The third one is your income effect. Income effect is nothing but increase in the real income of the consumer or the effect of purchasing power. For example, suppose you are buying the oranges, 1 kg of oranges at rupees 40. So, if you are spending 100 rupees on that, so what will happen? You are able to buy 2.5 kg, am I right? So, but if the prices will increase from 40 to 50, so within that 100 rupees, now you are able to buy only 2 kg of oranges. So, with the increase in price, your purchasing power will increase or decrease accordingly, and that will result to decrease in demand or increase in demand. So, if the prices will increase, your demand will decrease, aggregate demand will decrease, and that will again result to downward sloping demand curve. Now, the last one is, the last reason of downward sloping demand curve is substitution effect. Substitution effect is related to the substitute goods, means the goods which can be replaced with each other, like your tea and coffee, your Pepsi and Coke, which can replace each other. So, what will happen? If the price of one commodity will increase, the demand for other will increase and the demand for the first one will decrease. So, that is the substitution effect. If the price of tea will increase, the demand for tea will decrease and your coffee will increase. That will again result to downward sloping demand curve. So, not only the price is an important factor of downward sloping demand curve, but we have these important factors also for downward sloping demand curve from left to right: law of diminishing marginal utility, price effect, income effect and substitution effect. Now, come to movement and shift of demand curve. Every firm faces a certain demand curve for the goods it supplies. There are many factors that affect the demand, and these effects can be seen by observing the changes in the demand curve. Means there are a lot of changes in the demand curve due to change in the determinants of demand, and these factors can be categorized in two types: change in demand and change in quantity demanded. Although these two terms seems like similar, but there are a lot of difference in these two terms: change in demand and change in quantity demanded. If I will talk about change in demand, change in demand is related to the change in demand due to other factors than the price. As we know, there are many determinants of demand, like your price, income, price of related commodities, advertisement, taste, preference and so on. So, when the demand will change due to any other factor rather than price, that is treated as change in demand. Change in quantity demanded arises due to change in price, means law of demand is applicable in this concept. Change in quantity demanded means when the quantity will increase or decrease or expand or contract due to change in the price, that is change in quantity demanded. And our movement and shift of demand curve will related to these two concepts, change in demand and change in quantity demanded. Now, we will discuss movement of the demand curve. When there is a change in quantity demanded of a particular commodity because of change in price, as I already told that this is a change in quantity demand with other factors remain constant. There is a movement of quantity demanded along the same demand curve, means your demand curve does not change, it will remain same, as we can see here in this diagram that our demand curve is DD. So, our demand curve will remain same, only due to change in price there is a movement on the demand curve from A, B and C point. Like the due to change in price, the movement will either upward or downward on the demand curve. We can see that when price decreases from P to P1, your demand will shift from M to L, and this shift or this movement in demand is your contraction in demand, because your demand decreases when price increases from P to P2, so from M to L, and when it decreases the price from P to P1, your demand will increases from M to N, and this change in demand is known as expansion and contraction. From L to M it is contraction, and from M to N it is expansion. So, that is the movement on demand curve, means when you are moving on a same demand curve does not change its position, that is a movement on demand curve, and that is due to change in the price, and it is also known as expansion and contraction of demand. Then comes your shift of demand curve. When there is a change in the demand of a particular commodity at each possible price due to a change in one or more other factors, the demand curve shift, means your demand curve's position altogether shifts at a other place, either leftward or left side, rightwards or leftward. It can be in both ways. Other factors can be like your consumer income, taste, along with the prices of other goods, etc. Means it can be any determinant, it can be your advertisement, it can be taste and preference, it can be income. Other than price, it can be any determinant due to your demand will change. So, which were expected remain constant or changed. The demand curve can shift either in the left or to the right, depending on the functions or the factors which will affect it. For example, we can see here the shift of demand curve. We can see in this graph that demand changes from A or E to A1 and E1. We can see with the data, like I will here take the example of income, that earlier the income will be of 4,000, but due to increase in income from 4,000 to 5,000, your demand curve will shift. Like at price 5, where your income is 4,000, your demand is 10, and that is denoted by the point A. When the income increases to 5,000, it will become 15. So, that will denoted by A1, 4, 15 B, then 20 B1. At price 3, it will become 20 point C, denoted by point C, and when income increases, it will become C1. At price 2, it will be 35, that is denoted by point D, and then it will shift to D1. At price 1, the demand will be 60, that is point E, and then it will shift to E1. So, your demand curve will altogether shift from A E to A1 E1. So, this is the shift in demand curve, and it is also known as increase or decrease in demand. Means when suppose we can understand it by an example, like if we are moving in a class, we are changing our position in a class. So, that is movement, we are moving in the class, but when we altogether shift to a separate class or a different class, so that is a shift of yourself. So, in the same way we are having here, like movement is on the same demand curve, as we can say that it is on the same demand curve D, we are having the different points, but in case of shift we are all together moving towards a different position, that is a shift of demand curve. So, shift of demand curve, we can conclude that with an increase in income, the demand curve shift to the right. On the other hand, if the income falls, then the demand curve will shift to the left, decreasing the desire to purchase the commodity. So, means shift in demand curve is also known as increase or decrease in demand curve. Demand, when there is a rightward shift in demand, so here the demand will increase, your price will remain same, but your demand will increase. So, price will remain same means the change in demand is due to any other factor than price. But so, here it is increase in demand, and here in this graph your price will be same, but your demand will decrease. Your demand curve shifts from DD1 to DD2. So, here we can see the difference that altogether shift in demand from D1 to D2, here also D1 to D2, but it is increase and here it is decrease toward this direction. So, that is, so we can say that movement of demand or movement on demand curve is due to change in price, and on the same demand curve it is also known as expansion and contraction of demand. Shift of demand curve is due to change in other factors than price, and here the shape or the position of demand curve altogether changes from one place to another, and it is also known as expansion or contraction of demand. Now, we can have a recap of today's lecture, that we will discuss that what is law of demand. That law of demand is when the price increases, demand decreases, other things remain constant. So, here in this concept we study the relationship between only demand and price. We won't consider other things, like if I say then the price of tea is rupees 10, when it increases to 12, the demand for tea will decrease. That is what law of demand is. Then we discuss the exceptions to law of demand, that it is not true in all the cases of the commodities. There are few exceptions to law of demand, like your giffen goods, means the goods of inferior quality, where it belongs to a lower class people, even though to satisfy their basic need, even if the prices of these commodities are increasing, their demand for these commodities will means increase. So, that is the concept of giffen goods, and the example of giffen good can be your in Indian context I will talk that it will be your bajra, or you can say it will be of coarse cloth. So, that is the example of giffen goods. Snob appeal is related to your prestige necessities, means the goods which are bought just to meet out their status symbol, then that is the snob appeal. We have to follow that, and that is mainly this concept is focused towards rich class, the business class people, they follow only this concept. Demonstration effect is related to your fashion, that you are a follower of someone. So, whatever be the price, you have to buy that particular commodity. Future expectations of price. So, even though the prices are increasing, but you are showing a panic behavior, you have to store the commodity because you are expecting that in near future it is going to increase. Then insignificant proportion of income spent, goods with no substitute, you have to buy because there is no substitute available for these goods. Then we will discuss demand curve, as we know that demand curve slopes downwards due to law of demand applicable on that. Then there are again few exceptions or the reasons that due to which demand curve slopes downwards, that we will discuss. Law of diminishing marginal utility means with the successive increase of demand of use of a particular commodity, demand or satisfaction derived from that keeps on decreasing. Price effect, income effect and substitution effect that we had already discussed, that will affect the that will result downward sloping demand curve. Then we discussed movement and shift in demand curve, which is due to change in demand and due to change in quantity demanded. Change in demand is due to other factors than price, and change in quantity demanded due to law of demand that is applicable here. Movement, we have only one demand curve and there is movement on the same demand curve from upward to downward. In case of shift, we have altogether shift of the demand curve from one place to another. That's all from my side. I hope you all are satisfied with the content. Thank you.